I'm Steve G, and you're watching Hit the Streets. In this series, we're going further than ever before as I put you guys straight into the camera sensor so you can see what it sees as we attempt to capture the perfect street photo.
So here's our first location, the iconic Harrods, right in the middle of, my geography is shocking, so I want to say Knightsbridge. This is actually the first time I've been at this entranceway, which is arguably the main entranceway to Harrods, and it's actually, for such a prestigious location, it's actually a little bit of a letdown. I was hoping there'd be a little bit more going on here in terms of some interesting characters about, or even just a little bit more in terms of variety to shoot, but there's not a whole lot here. But that is the nature of this new series. We're basically hanging around iconic areas like this in the hopes that we can capture a quite fun street photo. We're only going to spend 5 minutes in each location on this series, so it's sort of, it's the nature of street photography. Sometimes we might get something really interesting, sometimes we might get nothing, but it allows me and you guys to spend a little bit more unrehearsed time with each other. Yeah, so this is completely unscripted, completely live, recorded in the moment. I have no idea what we're going to see at any particular time. We might find something, like I said, that's really quite interesting. We might not. So now that we're here at the... Oh, that's quite nice. Let's see if we can isolate these guys a little bit. No? Yeah, so in the downtime of this series, I can just waffle and hopefully try and make some sense. I'd like to thank everybody that's subscribed to the channel so far. Oh, we've got a nice doorman here. Let's see what this guy's at. Let's get a little bit closer. Let's keep that Harrods sign in. This is getting quite nice. Okay. Let's take a few of these. Backed off a little bit. He's an interesting character. There's some really fun butterfly wings over here. I don't know if you can make that out in the windows. It'd be really cool to get a shot of somebody standing up against those, make them look like a little bit of a butterfly. Ideally, it would be that guy, because he's the most interesting character to look at right now. Let's just stay with him for another few seconds. Looks like it might be going inside. Missing that Harrods sign though, that sort of completes the picture for me. Let's just take a step back and see what we can see. But last time I think he's gone inside. Maybe he was out expecting people to arrive. Could be some kind of a personal tour or something, you never really know. Okay, let's just back off a little bit. Oh, here he is. He's back again. Let's see. In an ideal world, he'd stop right in front of those butterfly wings. So we could take that photo, but hey, beggars can't be choosers, right? This is street photography after all. It's not rehearsed. If we were shooting in a studio, that might be, we could do really whatever we want, but here we're sort of at the mercy of the streets. We just sort of have to hope that these streets are kind in these sessions. You never really know what they're going to give you. Great to get somebody stood up against these. Somebody who you wouldn't expect, maybe a big butch guy or something, trying to do a little bit of a butterfly. So you guys are watching the uncensored, unfiltered readout from the sensor of my X-T2. You'll be able to see all the settings that I use. Frankly, a couple of people have been asking about them. Shout out to Stuart. My settings don't really change all that much from one session to the next. I generally shoot at 250th of a second. On f2.8, I'm shooting on the Fujinon 27mm. So f2.8 is really about as high as it goes. Let's just stay here. There we go. My ISO, I tend to keep as low as it goes. It never really changes. If my light is looking low, what I'll tend to do is just change my shutter speed. But I don't really like going any less than 2/50th of a second. With this lens in particular, oh here we go. This lens in particular, there's no optical image stabilization in a lot of Fuji's prime lenses, so it means that anything really less than 1/25th of a second, you start to introduce some. Everyone turns to look at it, it'll fade to me. Yeah, you start to introduce some sort of some shakiness and things into the images. So I like to keep the shutter speed nice and fast. I'm not going to stand here too much longer because I don't want to bore you guys. There is a different spot that I could maybe try shooting from, just around the corner. Just around the corner we've got the big Harrods sign, which goes up the edge of the building. It's where most people approach from the underground. And it may be a little bit more of an interesting spot to shoot than this. There doesn't seem to be much going on anymore. This girl looking at pigeons. Do they have pigeons where she comes from? They're only flying rats anyway, they're not too interesting. So yeah, I'll just give you guys a quick look around. There's not a whole lot happening. Shout out in the comments if you've spotted something that I've missed or something that I could have shot. So this really is what I'm looking for. You see that Harrods sign? It doesn't come out very clearly up there. It used to be lit up, but it's not very bright during the day. Somewhat hoping that we could get a nice frame up of somebody crossing the road in front of it. See what characters venture forth. It's a very loud area, so I hope that you guys can hear me okay. For those of you interested in my focusing, I obviously use autofocus. I use single point autofocus, and I use a little joystick on the back of the camera just to control it. So, some interesting characters coming back and forth. Let's see if we can take some photos of them. I'm also obviously shooting on my X-T2, and I am in the Brovia setting, which is slightly more saturated color setting. This lady in the red is looking quite interesting. She stands out, especially with that Brovia really bringing out the color over the top. I wonder if we could get one of those iconic London taxis in there too. Got Harrods in the background, tourists in the foreground, get some taxis in there just to round it all out. We'll see. Don't know how much longer I'm going to spend here. We might call it pretty soon, but that was a little bit of a blitz. We might have a couple of ones in there. But yeah, we won't know until we get home. Let's just see what we can see. I mean, I could sit here all day, but you guys might get pretty bored of me. Let's just see. Give it maybe another minute, and then I'll put any successful photographs up on the screen. Sort of see what we've captured in this very small 5-minute sequence. It's very different from the point of views that I normally do, where I feel the need to continuously move all the time. Because whenever you speed up that footage, it looks kind of weird and jarring if I stop for 5 minutes. So this is a refreshing change of pace for me to be able to just sit, frame something up, and like I say, a nice refreshing change of pace to be allowed to just sit and frame something up for a few minutes. Something a little bit different. I look directly into the camera. I think I caught a photo of him. It's pretty fun. A whole lot happening in this frame. Okay, so I'll tell you what guys, let's call it there. I'm going to go round the corner to another really interesting looking coffee shop for the next video, which will go live either later this week or early next week. Do let me know if you enjoyed this sort of new experience. It's definitely a different point of view than the usual.